Welcome to From This Day Forward, a wedding industry podcast. My name's James Clarke, your host and wedding photographer behind Just James Weddings. This is a space for real conversations with couples, photographers and wedding suppliers, exploring what truly matters on a wedding day and how meaningful images can be created. Without further ado, let's jump on into the next episode. Hey, and welcome back to From This Day Forward, a wedding industry podcast. Today we've got an awesome guest on the show. His name's Olly from Enhanced Entertainment, and just like any other podcast I've already recorded, I just got to remember to show his face. So welcome along, Olly, and hope you're doing all good,
James.
buddy.
Hello, everyone.
So just to introduce yourself a little bit, talk to me about Enhanced Entertainment, and just we'll get the show started that way a little bit, just so everyone actually knows who you are.
Perfect. So my name's Olly from Enhanced Entertainment. My wife and I run Enhanced Entertainment. We are wedding DJ specialists. We cover all over the Southwest, providing wedding DJs and all the fun stuff in the evening. So we also do photo booth, dance floors, exciting bits and pieces for a first dance, such as dry ice, cold sparks, confetti cannons. And we are here to have a lot of fun in the evening part of a wedding.
Your wife didn't fancy coming on today, did she?
She's a bit shy doing this. I get to be the face of the company. I get to do all the fun stuff, like chatting to you. And Susanna is amazing at controlling all of the admin, getting back to couples nice and quickly. But yes, she doesn't like being in front of the camera.
She likes being behind it though as well. I love it, all the behind the scenes stuff that she does. Hopefully, if you're watching on YouTube, like I might be able to clip this in. But Olly and I worked together. We what was it last? I can't remember what month it was now. It's too many weddings. August, September. Marquee wedding in Glastonbury, and there's this video of me like not being able to escape the dance floor.
She thought this was so funny. You came up and said goodbye about 5 times. You're like, no, I'm really going now. And then something else happened on the dance floor, and you had your bags, you put them back down, took photos of it, and then you came over, right now I'm really going again. And then something else happened. Someone was doing the worm. You're like, oh, well, I've got to get a photo of that. It was, and she clipped it all up. It was very funny.
That was definitely one of those weddings, wasn't it? It's one of those things I always find as a wedding photographer. Like you mentioned it before we started, like a lot of photographers like leave straight after first dance, but like there's quite a lot of weddings where I stay on like an hour, 2 hours afterwards, when actually the party probably properly gets going once the teas and coffees are settled in. Maybe a few beverages, but that I always find as a wedding photographer, you always think how's this evening going to pan out? But I definitely one of those weddings, wasn't it, where it could have gone.
That had a lot of
crazy.
energy. That wedding, it was so nice, that wedding, that we got to work all day together. And the whole day just flowed so well, and we all get the suppliers. Obviously, you were there as a photographer. The videographers were amazing. It was such a small, intimate group of us as suppliers. All got on really well, and the couple just seemed to really enjoy the whole day.
It was a great day, apart from that wonky table when we were sitting down for that break. It's like falling apart when trying to eat our
it's been a hot day. We were all trying to get in that shade. There wasn't much shade that day either.
Yeah, it was a bit mad. So you mentioned it there, like you don't just do DJing, which obviously a lot of people might not know about, especially if they're like engaged or whatever. They think, right, I'll hire a DJ, but actually there's other things that you do as well, isn't there? So like for that wedding in particular, you emceed all day, right? So explain to couples like how that like works, like for you. I enjoyed it. I loved it.
Oh, absolutely. So that Glastonbury events and certain other venues don't always have an event coordinator, especially if it's in a marquee. I do a lot of young farmer parties, and when the young farmers get married, they tend to have a marquee in a field on their farm. And so that's where we can come in as Enhanced Entertainment, and we'll be there from the beginning through to the end of the night. And it's great fun because we can help. Well, for that wedding I worked with you,
Mm.
we did the ceremony music, so I had a separate speaker for that one, and organised the music for the bride walking down the aisle, music whilst they were signing the register. And then as they're all coming out, I have my microphone speaker. I can help people like you say, right, we've got the photos coming up, and I can help. I've got a loud voice, microphone, organize people to get into place, saves your voice, and it means that you can concentrate as a photographer on the bits that you need to do.
Yep.
And it's just a helping hand there. I'm then liaising with the caterers, making sure that everything's running on time so that photographers don't get too over ambitious with their shots and everyone gets back into the marquee ready for their food. Yeah, and then we provided for that wedding a separate sound system ready for the wedding breakfast, wireless microphones for the speeches. Then the videographers can tape their microphones to our microphones ready for the best audio. And then finally have a nice bigger sound system in the evening for the disco. So technically, it's a lot more to provide, but it just makes the day flow that little bit easier. And when all the suppliers can work together, helps the couples. The couples don't realize all of the work that goes on behind the scenes with the suppliers.
Which is the thing about marquee weddings, isn't it? Like a lot of couples don't think about like how's the day actually going to run. And sometimes you feel when there isn't like an MC, like the caterers then feel like they have the responsibility of trying to get everything to run on time, because it is very much like DIY, isn't it? But do you find like with like marquee weddings, like do you find like couples feel like they're much more like relaxed in the day because they're not like having to like live up to like a venue that they've hired? Like, do you find that? If you MC or
find that
DJ,
they can put their stamp on it. So it's a lot of work running up to the wedding. They have to do a lot of the work themselves.
Yeah.
And as long as they've done the preparations beforehand, yes, the day is exactly as they want it. And yeah, I love a marquee wedding, and yeah, couples get to have their own stamp on it.
Yeah, I definitely find that. I mean, you can go with whatever venue you like, really, don't you? But like, I do find that when people go to like a country manor house wedding, and they're so amazing, but like you feel like couples have to play up to it a little bit. Whereas like barn weddings or marquee weddings, you just know. I mean, you mentioned like young farmers, like they're in a field that they know they do the harvest, they plow it, whatever. They're so used to being in that field, but actually, like naturally, they're just like, this is us. This is our place.
It's a much more relaxed atmosphere, or it certainly can be. Again, as long as that preparation is done. The couples, the guests are enjoying it. A lot of fun.
Talk to me about what you think is going to be the most trendy song this year. I've got one in mind, and I've already heard it at 2 of the 3 weddings that I've done already this year, and I'm just thinking whether you'd feel like it's going to be the same. You got a song that you feel like is going to be really trendy this year? I put you on the spot there a little bit.
You have. No, go on. I'm just trying to work out which song you spoke about. We're recording this in February.
It's all right. I know it's very fresh.
Yeah.
Where Is My Husband? Have you heard that song yet?
Yes. Yeah. So I played that loads over Christmas, and
have you?
I've got a lovely remix of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that one is the horns on it, the beat. Yeah, it's got the energy that everyone will dance to it. It's got the attitude for the women to strut their stuff to it.
It is a big woman one, isn't it? It's like you like. It's quite interesting to figure actually, like when it comes to dance floors, and going back, move away from MCing again, but DJing, like how do you do you know when to play these particular songs? Like how is it?
There's definitely a skill to it. Yes. In its most basic form, the DJing, we get to have I do think the best job at a wedding. All of the formalities are done. We're there to create the atmosphere, play some music, and get people dancing.
Yeah.
That said, there is an art to creating that nice playlist that the evening goes well. And so early evening, you're wanting to play good songs, but not those songs that you want everyone dancing to later.
Yep.
but also not lift music or sort of string quartet music, like all of that. The boring stuff has been and done. You're wanting good fun music, but at an appropriate level to get that good atmosphere. And then as soon as cutting of the cake, first dance is done, straight after the first dance, you should have everyone around the edge of the dance floor. First dance is done. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple would like to invite everyone to join them on the dance floor. You go in hard there and yeah, get some big party tunes on. Everyone's jumping around. Then a lot of the time, it will sort of die down after 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, well, this is my chance to disappear for a little bit.
People
will want to, people want to get a drink. Then the evening food comes out. After that evening food, your day guests have had a few drinks maybe during the wedding breakfast. Your evening guests have sort of starting to catch up.
Yeah.
So after the wedding breakfast, the full disco kicks in, and yeah, there's normally some big dance moves getting thrown down on the dance floor.
Have you ever done a wedding where a couple don't do a first dance?
Yes. Yeah. It's
a weird one, isn't it?
So a lot of couples say to me throughout the booking process, they go, we hate being center of attention, and we can't dance. We hate doing a first dance. And DJs with less experience maybe will rush this scenario, and I've come up with a few little tricks and hints that couples can really feel at ease, even if they're not big dancers, don't like being center of attention. The first dance normally happens after cutting of the cake. So I will get everyone over by the cake table. Let's say the photographer's going to get the first few shots, and then everyone else can jump in and get their shots after that. The reason that is a good thing to say is you as a photographer, you get 30 seconds a minute just to position a couple without Uncle Dave pushing into you and trying to get that shot as well. No, Dave, you can get your photo in a little bit. Let James do it.
There's always one
thing. And then whilst all the family and friends are taking their photos, you can make your way towards the dance floor, get set for the first dance. Then I invite all of the friends and family to come around the edge of the dance floor. And at that point, I say to the couple, look, just join your friends and family around the edge of the dance floor. What they don't want to do is be stood in the center of the dance floor. It might only take an extra 10, 15 seconds to get everyone else in position, but that 10, 15 seconds will feel like a lifetime to a couple who don't want to be center of attention.
It's amazing.
I then give them a lovely introduction onto the dance floor, probably do a verse or chorus. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, a massive round of applause for the couple. Let's get everyone onto the dance floor. And then that really helps create the atmosphere. So when there isn't a first dance, it's difficult going from that early evening into the disco, because the first dance really does say formalities are done. Let's crack on and have a big party.
Yeah, it does set the tone massively, and I completely appreciate it, because like I've done 3 weddings already this year, and like the first one I did, they did something that was slightly choreographed, and then the one that I just did a couple of days ago, they were such a shy, and they didn't want the center of attention on them, so they were like, do 10 seconds, and then they just invited everyone onto dance floor. There's no right or wrong way of doing it, is there? But at least if you can do a first dance, it just definitely sets the tone for the rest of the for the evening, for sure. And it's one thing I always ask couples. I don't know if you do it in your booking process at all, but I always say to couples, like, they're the vibe of the party. So like if they're on the dance floor, it's more likely that their guests will be on the dance floor. As soon as they like disappear, so does the rest of the dance floor. Do you find that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I say exactly the same to couples. If they're big dancers, everyone will be there. If they're big drinkers, people will be at the bar drinking with them. If they're big smokers, everyone's out in the smoking area with them. Of course, people are there to celebrate with the couple. So they will be wherever the couple are. So it's always handy for me when they go, oh no, we love dancing. Like that's going to always work in my favor. Yeah,
for sure.
What you also mentioned that one of the people wanted to only have 10 seconds for their first dance. Again, that is understandable, but I always find working with photographers, I'll find a point in the song where there's a nice breakdown, a bit of an instrumental, where I can say, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a massive round of applause for the couple. And I'll let the photographer know, right, you've got 40 seconds, a minute. I let the couple know you only have to dance for this amount of time by yourselves before
Yeah.
everyone's going to be joining you. Because again, as a photographer, you're going to want those lovely shots of the couple. And if you've only got 10 seconds,
It's a
you
rush,
are
isn't it?
racing around.
Mate, I am like full on. Blurry photos are in though, aren't they? So like, if you're racing around a dance floor, it's what you're gonna get. Oh no, yeah, it's a juggle, isn't it? But you got to go with, I guess, in a way, you got to go with what the couple are most comfortable with doing. But yeah, it's I do find that.
I do, yeah, I completely agree. It's the couple are at the center of it all.
Yeah,
But we can certainly lead and give hints and advice throughout the booking process
yeah,
to see to say, look, in our experience,
yeah,
this is how it would work a little bit better in this scenario.
yeah. That is the thing. If you can lean on the experience side of things, it definitely helps for sure. You mentioned right at the beginning, dry sparkles? Dry sparkles?
So dry ice,
Dry
cold
ice. There you
sparks,
go.
yeah, confetti cannons. I was just about to ask, have you worked with, like, we've worked a few times together, but I don't think I've done any of the extras whilst I've been
No,
working with you.
mate.
So yeah, so we offer dry ice. It's
Yeah,
frozen carbon dioxide. It's that dancing on a cloud effect. A nice thick cloud of smoke crosses the dance floor.
yeah.
It hides couples if they've got two left feet and they just want to sway beautifully together, and it sets a beautiful photo. Then the
Mm,
cold sparks. It's like indoor fireworks. You would see it at festivals
yeah,
on Britain's Got Talent. It sends up sparks, but technology's moved on. They're now much safer, so they're called cold sparks.
yeah.
They go at about 17 degrees Celsius, technically.
Technically.
So yeah, much safer to use than traditional pyrotechnics. Have you shot many weddings? No, not with me, but with other DJs who've used these effects.
I know people that do, but the first time I saw it was at a wedding fair, and when they went off, I was like, what the? I didn't know what they were.
Yeah.
And then actually, then when you find out that they're safe and you can use them indoors, I was like, what? But like, yeah, that first time I saw it. But no, I've never seen any at a wedding, to be fair. Just the classic, like either smoke or whatever. But there's a question I was going to ask you though. When it comes to first dance, do you always get the photographers? It's not a breaking of the ice, but like, do you always get photographers come up to you and ask about lighting and stuff like that for first dance? Because I always find I do that at weddings. I'm like, can you just play white light or no lights? And it's like always feels like there's that really like unnerving question, or like few minutes where you like introduce yourself to a DJ and you're just like, it's one of the first questions you get asked, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And since lockdown, myself, I've invested heavily in lighting
Yeah.
and software, hardware to control that lighting, and photographers love it. And I've worked with so many photographers who, like you just said,
Yeah.
can we just have a nice warm glow? Certainly don't want dots on the couples.
Yeah.
Certainly no lasers.
Mate,
And
lasers, don't get me started.
I can imagine. Every single photographer is coming up to me.
Just
Are
cover
you
your
using
lens.
lasers? Yeah. So no, luckily there's no lasers in any of our shows. But yeah, being able to control the lighting is so important.
Yeah.
It is important. It can really add to the energy of a night. And so for a first dance, I'll have a nice warm yellowy white glow. I'll get my moving heads to do nice, slow, circular movements sort of around the edge
Yeah.
of the dance floor. So again, you as a photographer are not having to edit out silly spots over a couple. And it just looks so much more elegant and classy.
Yeah.
And again, this is what couples are wanting from their first dance photo, is that beautiful photo. So I know that reds, blues are completely out. The photographers just say, just no, blues, reds. It doesn't work for a first dance.
No, it really doesn't. Don't want to look like an Oompa Loompa.
No.
No, it's one of those things because you want to get it right for those few minutes, especially if you are only there for like for the first dance. I know I'm there like much later with packages that I offer, but yeah, you want to get it right, don't you? And I always find like DJs, I don't know if you hate it or love it when photographers come up to you and ask you what lightings you got, but like that's one of the like
I
more nerving minutes for me on a wedding day is when I have to go and approach a DJ that I've not met before.
I think it will again come down to experience and the equipment that the DJ has. So because I can control my lighting nice and easily, I
Yeah,
love it when photographers come up because I say, "Yep, let's work out a scene that you're happy with, that I'm happy with, and we'll quickly run through the settings before everyone comes towards the dance floor, so that the photographer knows that this is how that lighting is going to be."
yeah,
That said, DJs who don't have that equipment, not that they're going to be bad DJs, they could still be great DJs, but they would hate that question because their lighting is on or off. It's going to flash. They have no control over it. They don't know what's going to move where at what time.
yeah,
And a lot of DJs have equipment still like that, unfortunately.
yeah.
But yeah, as I say, it doesn't mean that they're bad DJs. They can still do a great performance. But yeah, they haven't got the control of the lighting.
It's crazy, isn't it? Now you do something else other than because you're like a jack of all trades, aren't you, on a wedding day? So you don't just offer DJing and MCing as an option for couples, but you also do photo booths, right?
Yes.
And is that more of your wife's bit, or is that more?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Susanna manages that a lot more than I do,
yeah,
and they're great fun, and
yeah,
they've been around for years now, and there's many different types. Ours we find is great. It's a pole and drape system, so
yeah,
we can make it bigger or smaller
yeah,
depending on the venue we're in. If we can set it to its biggest size, we can get 10 to 12 people in there comfortably.
yeah,
It's all covered by a curtain, by this draping.
yeah.
So when there's smaller groups in there, they can have some fun without prying eyes of everyone else watching. And where we find it works really well is that early evening part between 7 p.m. till say 10 p.m. Your day guests, again, may have had a drink or two during the wedding breakfast.
Yep.
They're looking for something to do. They're ready to start ramping up the energy. They don't want to be dancing yet,
Yep.
but they'll jump in. And it's just, there's nothing better as a DJ than that early evening part where people are giggling, laughing, joking, and you can tell that energy is there. And the photo booth definitely brings that. It comes with all the props, of course. And so people are putting on silly wigs and masks. And yeah, it definitely transitions that formal part of the day into the fun part of the evening.
Do you mind if people bring out the hats and stuff onto the dance floor? Does that ever happen? I bet it does.
Oh, it happens all the time. No, Susanna's very good at keeping an eye on the troublesome ones. And yeah, sometimes people will take a lot of props away and then she's chasing them down on the dance floor.
One of the silliest props I've ever seen, mainly because I put it on myself and used the photo booth, was like a full on like unicorn or like horse hat. You got one of those?
Yeah, we have done in the past. Yeah. Now again, we do clean a lot of our props between uses, but I always worry when you do see photos with that. I think, how many people have put
sweaty it is.
Like
yeah. Oh, good fun though. I've got some questions from brides. So I put out an Instagram story yesterday, and I was really surprised actually that I got some responses. It's one of those things. It's really hit and miss when you put out like, "Oh, I've not asked this in a while. Ask me a question," and then you get nothing back. But I was really, really surprised, and I'll probably start doing this every week because if everyone's keen to do it and finding out more, then it's quite good. So because there's some questions on there that people have asked that we could quite happily talk about. Actually, I'd but like I just throw this in now. So I'm not putting you on the spot really, but I am. So thank you to everyone firstly for sending in those questions anyway, because it's really cool to see that happen and people are engaging with the content. So again, thank you. And if you haven't yet followed the social media pages yet, you can actually find them on, well, I was about to say Spotify. Of course, you can find me on Spotify, but you can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at from this day forward, the podcast. So head on over there and give us a follow. But yeah, are you ready, Ollie?
Let's do it.
They're not actually too bad, to be fair. And actually, they'll be really helpful to either the couples that have asked these questions or future couples that might listen to this podcast. But one of the first question is, and again, thank you, is what should couples ask a DJ before booking them?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, we talked about it slightly earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a few bits so there's lots of questions I would ask, but the important ones would be, you would want to find out the experience of the DJ, which you could do by various questions, but also, has the DJ played at that venue?
Mm-hmm.
It is so helpful if a DJ has played at that venue before. Of course, we can all do our research and play at venues we haven't played before. But when they have played at a venue before, it's more convenient for the DJ. They know where all the power sockets are. They know the easiest access. It certainly saves 10, 15 minutes of the setup process, because they know exactly which door to drive to. They know, as I say, where all the power sockets are. Again, experience of the DJ. How long have they been DJing? What type of events do they do? Their social media. Can you have a meeting with them at some point, be it via Zoom, face to face? We were chatting just before the podcast. The couple will spend the most of the time with the photographer, so they need to make sure that they get on well with the photographer. But 1/3 of your day is going to be with the DJ, running that fun evening part. So you need to make sure that you get on with that DJ. So if you can have a face-to-face or a Zoom call to make sure that you gel, that would be very helpful. If they've got any mixes, they can put mixes online, send them to via Dropbox or Google Drive, something like that. Would be very helpful. If mixing is important to the couple, some couples that wouldn't be. As a mobile DJ, I would always say that tune selection is a biggest important factor. If you can then mix the songs together well and keep that flow going, that makes it all the better. But we're not club DJs. People aren't coming here to see us do these amazing intricate mixes. We're here to just play the bangers and get everyone dancing.
Here's one, like, based off that first question. And do you see it now a lot more at venues where they've got like a decibel limiter? And like, how do you find that? Because I feel like it's a bit of a sticking point at the moment, isn't it, with DJing and bands?
Oh, absolutely. I have worked at a venue before where it was completely unworkable.
Really?
That just the cheers from the speeches, I could see the decibel meter would go into the red. And if it stays in the red for 5 or 10 seconds, then it cuts the power to the stage. Yeah, and I was setting up, and I could see people cheering just for the speeches, and it was already going into the red. I thought, I haven't even got a song on at this moment. And I was like, ladies and gentlemen, sing along to this one, but not too loud. And I was like, and the power went off a few times. The bar staff can switch it back on, but if you're waiting for software to reload,
So that's probably something that you're probably having to say to couples a lot more now, then, aren't you? If it's a specific venue or something, I'd imagine that's something that you're having to kind of like mention, I guess, that there is a limiter, and it can be a little bit.
Yes, it is certainly something to bear in mind.
Yeah.
Most venues, to be fair, it is at a workable volume that you can still have fun. There's only been one in the last 5 years where my power's cut because of a dB meter. Again, it was the crowd singing along to Mr. Brightside. We had built up the atmosphere, but it was very awkward. Everything just died. And And yeah, you have to wait just 10, 20 seconds for everything to start back up. So certainly something to bear in mind. But as I say, most venues, it is workable.
Oh yeah, for sure. And actually, that leads on really nicely to this next question that someone sent in. So how do you actually how do DJs handle awkward moments or an empty dance floor? So you could like talk about that awkward moment where your kit cuts out, but
Having confidence in yourself is key at this point. Being able to use a microphone. A lot of couples these days don't want your DJ to be sort of a radio DJ back announcing this was Robbie Williams from 1999, something like that. But being able to have confidence on the microphone to have a bit of interaction with the crowd is key. Then if something does go wrong, this is real life. It does happen. Being able to make light of it, have a bit of a joke with it, means that you're not highlighting it. You're not making this awkward. You're not. You're not. It's real life. Of course, everyone's wanting everything to go smooth for a wedding, but sometimes something can happen. Someone trips over a cable that unplugs something. They've come behind the desk again. Everything is sort of tied down, and that shouldn't happen. But again, accidents do happen, and yeah, just having the confidence to have a bit of a laugh with it. And make it lighthearted rather than pulling focus to it and making it awkward for everyone. If the dance floor's empty, and that can happen for certainly in summer wet. Yeah, I would love to say, oh, that's never happened to me. My dance floors are banging all the time, but no, of course not. Summer weddings, when it's beautiful outside and that evening weather is kicking in, I would want to be outside with a cold beer rather than on a sweaty dance floor at that point. So yeah, it's working with that couple, managing expectations, again, using the microphone to your advantage, letting people know what's happening, what they can expect. Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is beautiful out there. I fully understand you're having this. We'll get the disco going at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like the big tunes. Come and let me know any songs you want to hear. Yeah, being able to just communicate with the couple and the guests is very important.
That's what I think. Even with my photography, it's explaining and then setting out expectations is quite important, I find. As long as you can do that, then 9 times out of 10 or 9.9 times out of 10, a couple will be happy. But yeah, I completely get your point about summer weddings in particular, because that's it doesn't happen for long, does it? Especially with the last few weeks and months of weather. Oh my God, it's been so miserable, isn't it?
As a photographer, how do you deal with the weather? Because again, a slightly cold or damp evening suits me down to the ground because people are then coming in. But I'm guessing you're having to look, again, no matter which month you're in, there can always be rain here in the UK.
Can be abroad as well.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for in venues? What's your backup plan if there is awful weather as a photographer? What are you thinking?
See, you are podcast ready. You are. just do it, Ollie. Just do it. It's a good question because a lot of venues will have, it's particularly when we looked for our wedding venue. I've got to get this right. Hang on. 8 years ago.
Well done.
This would be our 9th anniversary this summer. So I've given myself some leeway there. Anyway, when we looked at our wedding venue, we wanted somewhere that had like an outdoor and indoor alternative. So I think that's, what most couples look for. Obviously can't really help that if you're doing maybe like a woodland wedding, maybe. But in particular with photography, it's I'm always forward planning like a couple of hours in advance, whether that's looking at, that there's some weather coming in. So you're always like looking at Met Office and seeing whether you can nip outside and get some photos or whatever. But most venues do have like a good alternative. So like, for example, like the wedding I did at the weekend, like we got the main like big group photo outside, but then the rain started coming in. So then I just talked to the coordinator, like we're going to have to do the rest of the group photos inside. And then we just moved some furniture by this big fireplace and then we just did them there.
Lovely.
So it's weird though, because there's some venues that, like, if it does rain all day, there are some venues which are a little bit more limited to like indoor space, whereas some venues, you've got plenty of spaces where you can go inside. Like, so like big country manor houses, you've got lots of like big windows and staircases that you can go to. But yeah, there are some venues which do feel a bit more limited for indoor photos. But ultimately, just talk to the bride, like you just mentioned, like talk to the bride and the groom. Like sometimes I'm just like, let's just embrace it. Go outside. Like I've got these big transparent umbrellas we can use. Just get out. We'll go under a tree or something. And actually, you do find like I don't know if you find it, like brides by the end of the day or near the end of the day, they're quite happy to trash their dress
Yeah,
or go out in the
yeah.
rain. Like, I mean, rain will
And
dry
that
off
shot
eventually, but
you've spoke about with the rain coming down,
yeah,
the transparent umbrella,
yeah,
the lighting behind them,
yeah,
sort of so they're silhouetted. That is a beautiful photo.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, if the couple can make use of, or as you say, just throw themselves into it,
yeah,
have trust in the photographer,
yeah.
you'll get some great photos, whatever the weather.
It's a hard one because like I'm much more like candid, so like throwing them into like a pose like behind a light and stuff does feel a little bit less like that, but you can still have some fun with it.
Yeah,
And again, if that is the only like option to get some photos, then you just make the most of it and just embrace it, with or without umbrella as well. So
yeah,
yeah, you do get some crazy brides, and they do get, after a few drinks too, they just go, it's a dress. We'll get it
yeah.
cleaned. But yeah, it's a great question. Thank you, Ollie, the podcaster. Oh, I'll be a guest on your show one day, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's another question for you. What actually makes a dance floor work at a wedding? It's a very like open question, that one, I feel.
It is, and there are many. So there are many situations with that would work for some
Yeah,
weddings and not others, and that is truly the bit that I love about mobile DJing
yeah,
at weddings. Is I'm there to entertain that couple and that crowd on that night. So
yeah,
in the summer months, I could be doing 4 or 5 weddings over a weekend period,
yeah,
and each night the music genres would be different. I might have
yeah,
a younger couple who are wanting it R&B and Kishri type music, then a slightly older couple who are wanting disco and 70s, 80s, then someone who's wanting loads of the party hits and the cha-cha slide, and another couple going, oh my God, no, I couldn't think of anything worse than those dance routines. So to make the dance floor work, again, it's all in that preparation, the
yeah,
meetings beforehand, finding out what the couple, how the couple are seeing their evening entertainment.
yeah,
What are they wanting from that? Then asking, well, okay, so that works for you two. Is it mainly friends coming at your wedding? Is it mainly family? Is it a good
yeah,
mixture? Are they all into this type of music
yeah,
as well? I've had it before where a couple have gone, oh no, we're really into, for example, emo type music. I'm like, well, that's great. And that's all we want to hear. I'm
yeah,
like, well, fine, but are your friends and family into this? And they're like, nope, but that's what we want. And so I sort of warned them, well, I'm not too sure if this is going to work, but I'm happy to sort of accommodate. Should we try a section of it? But give me the freedom to do it there. And they were very specific. Nope,
yeah,
we want this type of music. And unfortunately, it just didn't work because they didn't want to dance on an empty dance floor. And the majority of the people there were like, what type of music is this? And I had to say on the microphone, this is very much a couple's type of music. They've asked me to play this. And yeah, try to sort of show that it wasn't me as a DJ choosing all of this. But yeah,
what are you
it's
saying?
in
You
that
love your emo
preparation.
music.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and the right section at the right time, we'll have that place jumping. But all night to when there's Auntie Ethel and she's
Yeah.
just out of the back going, what is this? It's in that preparation, 100%.
Depends on how much alcohol is consumed as well, I'd imagine as well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that gets the dance floor going.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are two more questions. One I feel like is a little not rogue, but like it kind of goes back to like your emceeing, I suppose, because you're probably more accustomed to it, whereas some DJs might not. So like the couple have asked, or the bride's asked, can a DJ save the vibe if the day runs late or things go off schedule?
Yeah.
So it's more of like your emceeing, I suppose, because you're it happens at weddings, right? Things go off piste, but like you can always sense that a bride gets a bit stressed, don't they, with things going off time, especially the bride.
Again, you prepare for the best,
Yeah.
but you have to be ready to roll with it. I've turned up before and gone, oh great, turning up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
I've got till 7 o'clock to set up, and they're still on the main course of the wedding breakfast. They've still got desserts. They've still got speeches to do, and then the room's got to get turned around because I'm in the room where the wedding breakfast is. Straight away, I know that this is going to be all put on
all
me
on you.
as a DJ, to get in and set up as quick as possible. So again, I'm getting equipment as close to that door as possible so that I could set up. If I normally need 45 minutes an hour, I'm trying to get that down to 30 minutes. Again, what some DJs will do is they will have certain songs that they want to play at certain times. So, for example, Mr. Brightside, they might be saying, well, no, that's a big song that I only want to play that at 11 o'clock when everyone's on the dance floor. If timings are off, you could play that at 9 o'clock. If the time needed, if that party was jumping and that song's going to fit there, and then at 11 o'clock, you'll find a song to play there. But as I say, that's from an experienced DJ who goes, I don't have the panic of what song am I going to be playing next. I've got 3 or 4 songs going around in my head a lot of the time. Oh, I could do this, I could do this. But certain DJs get into the habit of playing certain songs at certain times, and that can limit their creativity on a night. You want to be able to have that freedom to roll with anything, to be able to, as I say, you prep for one way, but if timings are screwed up a little bit, you've got to be able to roll with it on the day.
Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? I mean, it's almost like there was a thing someone said the other day as well, not DJing as such, but like a question I got asked, like when should we do speeches? And then someone said it's always better to do them before, because if you do it after and it's running behind, there's going to be evening guests turning up when the speeches are still happening. And a lot of couples don't necessarily want that to happen. They want them just to be there for the evening. So I completely understand how it must feel for you when it comes to like arriving and then actually there's nowhere to set up and you have to wait and then you're rushed. And then you got the photographer coming at you with what lights are you using. It's a bit of a crazy hour, isn't it?
It's all on the DJ at that point. Yeah, the photographer's normally, I've been here since 8 o'clock doing bridal prep. Come on, let's get this first dance. And I'm dripping in sweat and running like crazy. And I'm like, just another 10 minutes. No, and in my head, it's going to be 20. But yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it? Something to be mindful of, people.
Yeah.
Something to be mindful of. But yeah, it happens. It happens. Right, last question. Where have they put? Here we go. How much control do we have over the music? And then they've actually sent me a DM to follow it as well. So hang on one second. Then they've put like a couple of like short, it almost looks like, or this or that kind of answer. So yeah, how much control do we have over the music? And then they've put playlists versus vibes and requests versus reading the room. So it's like a 3-way question. Jeez. They've gone into it.
I can easily answer this, or I can answer how we approach this at Enhanced Entertainment. Absolutely. So on our booking form area, we generally ask for 20 to 30 songs from couples.
Yep.
The reason we put a limit on it, we didn't used to. We're saying just send over a playlist. And then some couples would spend what I assume would be hours curating this amazing playlist, but they would put 200-300 songs. I swear we have had playlists that long before, and it would end up being 12 hours long. And I'd be like, but we haven't got 12 hours worth of disco. I know, but we love all this music. And then you find that the DJ is just looking at another screen of where this playlist is, or their notes they've printed out.
Yep.
And you're just looking at so many songs rather than reading the room, rather than being able to get the flow. So that certainly didn't work for us. So we limited it to 20 to 30 songs.
Yeah.
That 20 to 30 songs gives us a really good idea of how they want the night to sound.
Yeah.
If they've put some modern dance music in there, some David Guetta or whatever, that you go, okay, well, if they like that, then they're also probably going to like this, and this. So 20 to 30 songs is actually more like 60 to 80 songs to the DJ, because every song that they request, they're going to go, actually, they probably like this as well.
Yeah, because what's 20 songs? About an hour's worth?
Yeah.
Music? Yeah. So then you're able to then fill it out for the rest of the evening, aren't you? Based on, yeah.
And then we ask couples, are you happy for guests to come up and request? Because thinking of songs that you want to dance to on a cold Wednesday afternoon can be quite tricky. But once you've had a few drinks and there's music on in the background, you go, oh my God, actually, I want to also hear this song.
Yep.
So we're happy for people to come up and request songs, as long as the couple are happy with that as well. Yep. We find that works really well. And then finally, it's really important, we've found a do not play list.
Okay.
So couples have the opportunity to say, look, we're quite relaxed. We'll have all the party hits, but we just don't want to hear either this song or this type of music. I missed that. What did you say, Jim?
I just said ABBA, but people love ABBA, to be fair.
Yeah. But as I mentioned, like the Cha-Cha Slide, Macarena.
Yeah.
For some, that can be quite divisive. Some people go, oh my God, it's not a wedding without this. And then other couples are like, no, there's no way we're doing dance routine songs. So yeah, they can say, play some ABBA, but we just don't want to do dance routines. And then they know that that's not going to suddenly hit at 10:30 when the dance floor full. And they're going, oh no, the Macarena, we can't be bothered to do this, and it kills the atmosphere.
Two people doing it. Yeah, that's interesting. Ultimately, isn't it, with DJs, you've got to read the room, and obviously being very experienced, you'll know how to do that. It must be such a tough gig. There you go, there's my pun. I wouldn't know where to start. My brother used to do a bit of DJing, to be fair. I always refer to him. I always refer to him as, sorry? Yeah, he did a bit of clubbing, to be fair. He did clubbing. Yeah. Don't think he did any weddings, but hopefully he's not listening to this, but have you ever seen that that video of that young kid with his dad in the living in his bedroom, like with a bit of Lego in the background, and he go, "Okay, let's go." That one. That's my brother. Like that's.
He's gonna be so devastated you've said that.
I don't think he listens, so it's fine. But he loved it, to be fair. I would probably be one of those people who, as a photographer, he loves all the different colour lights. So I think I would have been like, come on. But no, he used to love it, to be fair, back in his university days. But I think he was one of those. I think he is one of those people that like flits between hobbies. So
I do know lots of people who have done a bit of DJing at university and then go, oh, I could do a bit of wedding DJing. That doesn't look too difficult. Again, like photography, the tricky bit is this is someone or a couple's big day.
Yeah.
And you only get one chance at it.
Yeah.
And that pressure on the day can get to a lot of people. And there can be some great amateur photographers, there can be some great bedroom DJs, but put them in front of a crowd and it all starts to unravel.
Is there a difference then between, say, like nightclub DJing and wedding DJing?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. So in a nightclub, you get to choose the music. People are coming to, you're saying, this is the music that I'm wanting to play. Especially if you're in a decent nightclub, people are coming to see you, and you get to say, this is the type of music I'm playing. You're coming to see me. I'm going to play the music that I like, and you can dance along to this. Wedding DJing, that you have to leave the ego at the door. We're here to entertain that crowd on that night.
Yeah.
And you may hate dance music, you may hate R&B, but if the crowd are into that, you've got to pull out an hour, 2 hours worth of that music and enjoy it.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because like I still find, I know you mentioned, I think earlier, I've had a couple of DJs where they do like the radio, like, oh no, it's time for. It feels, it does kill the vibe a bit. But the other thing I was going to talk about was like, I know it can be a bit of a throw over from nightclub DJing, but I've seen or had a few either inexperienced or cheaper DJs where transitions, they don't have a transition from song to song, and that can kill the vibe massively as well, can't it? And that kind of comes across probably from nightclub DJing a little bit, because you do want to flow from one song to the next, but like from your you're probably experienced enough to know that you need the transitions, but like that's a massive thing too, right?
Yeah, and
Keep the vibe going.
yeah, within the wedding DJing, you are jumping around a lot more than a club DJ with
Okay.
in terms of BPM and genre.
Yep.
This is again where the microphone can come in quite handy, because you could do a 10-15 minute sort of dancey set,
Yep.
and then you go, oh no, now I want to get a bit more R&B, get the ladies on the dance floor and what have
Yeah.
you. So you just need to say something on the microphone, have that next song queued in, ready to go there. So it's not suddenly like a big clunky, like, whoa, what's happened here? As you say, it's keeping it nice and smooth throughout that. So there's loads of little hints and tips that yeah, not just skills on the decks that you can do. The microphone can come in and, as I say, keep that night flowing really, really well.
Yeah, I find, or I would probably find hard to do as a DJ is, I know you probably mentioned it earlier with the different genres and stuff, but knowing how to work different age groups, like I feel like that must be one of the hardest things, because there's always like a lot of like older relatives at the parties or whatever, but then you'd still have the younger ones or the couple themselves. So like that's quite a big thing, I'd imagine, or stress, or not really a stress for you, I suppose, because you're very experienced, but like must be one of the hardest things to kind of manage.
Again, so
It's prep, isn't
at the
it?
beginning of
Yeah,
at the beginning of the night, you're playing the sort of warm up music. You're wanting to create that nice atmosphere, but not play your big bangers.
yeah.
That's where you can be a bit more experimental with the songs you're
Okay.
playing, because you're not, as I say, you're not necessarily getting people up dancing. If they want to dance, then all great, and then we'll
Yep.
swap it around. As I say, you're rolling with it on the night, but generally people won't dance between that 7 and 8:30 point. But you want to create that atmosphere.
Yep.
If you do have a slightly older crowd, you can play some Motown, some soul, and you're watching for the reactions around the room. Who's tapping their legs? Who's knocking the glass on the table? Who's enjoying the music? And you know, and all right, hold on, while they're enjoying this type of vibe. Later, I'll be able to play some of this, and they'll be up dancing.
Interesting.
But likewise, if it's a younger crowd and you get to play some more modern songs and sort of see what music they're into. So I find that early evening part really essential to working out how the vibe later is going to be working.
Interesting.
And again, generally, the older ladies on the dance floor, they don't do much of the wines, and then the younger crowd may be doing a few shots at the bar. Then later you'll be swapping up, bringing up the high energy music and a bit more modern music towards the end of the night. Once the older crowd will have had their dance, I might sort of be leaving or sitting down, and it naturally transitions into the younger crowd jumping around in the evening.
I think we might have. There we go. You're back. I didn't lose you completely, but it went dead for a minute. But I think it carried on. So Wi-Fi. Hey.
I could see there was a bit of freezing there.
It's all good, but I think
just keep talking just in case.
Yeah, just keep going. That's interesting though. Like I didn't think like DJs would probably look in like into the depths of the room and just see who's like tapping away and stuff. That's really interesting to know. Which I guess like less experienced DJs would probably not pick up on. So that's probably really interesting to know.
Would have their early evening playlist. They put that on, and they don't get to see which songs are creating a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything that you find like couples like don't know about when it comes to DJing, like, or what to expect. Yeah, it's. I feel like it's obviously, like you said, it's like 1/3 of the day is you like running the show as such, isn't it? But is there anything like you find from your experience that like couples might not necessarily
One of
know
the
about?
bits, one of the bits which is truly underrated, which again we spoke about with the first dance,
Yeah,
is the lighting. And
lighting.
yeah,
Okay.
if you hire a band,
Yep.
you've got people up there performing,
Yep.
and people will want to much more engage with a band
Yep.
because they're up there, they're playing their instruments. There's a lot more interaction.
Mm-hmm.
The very basics of DJing is a person just hitting play and pause, or behind normally a bit of a booth. You can't see too much what they're doing depending on what type of booth they've got.
Mm-hmm.
So the lighting can really help with that atmosphere. And if you think about, if you've ever gone clubbing, to a festival,
Yep.
to a concert, it changes when those lights hit, when there's a build up and it all goes a bit dark, and
Yep.
then the drums hit and it all goes bang and the lights come up.
Lasers.
Yeah, lasers, and everyone's hiding. It's the lighting. I have found since I've moved into DMX, which is how you control the lighting.
Yep.
The level up I can get from a crowd has really jumped.
That's interesting. Is there anything else though that adds to that as well? Obviously, you mentioned the sparklers, but what were some of the other things you mentioned right at the beginning that you do as DJing? You got smoke,
like the dry ice.
dry ice. Yep.
They can make for an amazing first dance. Confetti cannons.
Yeah.
I will tell you one story with the confetti cannons again.
we
love to we love to carry backups of backups. So I was working with one photographer at this venue, and the couple had organized this beautiful first dance. They choreographed it quite well.
Yep.
And their finishing move was she was taken like leaning back, and he's holding her there. The confetti cannons go off. And I'd spoken with the photographer. The couple knew what they were doing. I knew what was happening. The people letting off the confetti cannons knew what was happening. This all goes really, really well. Confetti goes off perfect. It was like massive round of applause. And I invite people onto the dance floor. I'm thinking, that was amazing. The photographer's come up to me and gone, my camera froze just as the confetti was starting to come down. I'm sure you would know more of it, but it's just that spinning wheel of your camera thinking it just needs to do something. Now the confetti doesn't fall for that very long. And so he's missed it. He's got the confetti up high, but not sort of showering down that shot that they were wanting.
Yeah.
So I said, don't worry, I've got you. I said, I've got a spare confetti cannon.
Yep.
I said, I'll sort this out. So the first dance finishes, everyone's still on the dance floor. I said, what an amazing first dance that was. Let's get a recreation of that final scene. Let's get the couple back into that pose.
That's cool.
Everyone just leave the dance floor. We got that shot again. I said, many of you may have missed this. I said, well, we're just going to do this so that everyone can get that shot. I didn't highlight that the photographer had missed it or anything like that.
Good on you.
We got the couple back into that pose. It was much more pose this time. And the photographer was like, oh, I owe you a drink now. Because he then got that really important shot.
That's good.
But yeah, again, that comes with experience of being able to handle that. That was no one could have foreseen that happening, and it certainly wasn't the photographer's fault. Your camera freezes at the most awkward point. It just happened at the wrong time. But yeah, having a DJ who could handle that, have the backup. So I had spare confetti cannons with me, and get that couple back into that position. That couple would never have known we were doing that again because the photographer had missed it. They just thought I was being generous with an extra shot. It was,
That's good. That is good. I think it's quite important, like from a communication point of view. Some photographers might not have actually done that,
right,
and vice versa. The DJ might have gone, no,
you've missed your chance.
Yeah, you missed it, or there's nothing you can do. So yeah, that's really cool to know that you over prepare, which is good. I suppose in a way with photographers as well, you try and you just can't help technology sometimes, but either having a second camera or something can help in situations like that. But when it's like such a quick thing to happen, like
This is it. As I
you
say,
just never
the
know. You
photographer
just never
is a
know.
very good. Yeah, this photographer is a very good photographer.
Yeah,
He would have had a second camera, but
yeah,
you have a second.
yeah,
Well, no, you have maybe 3 seconds to do it. Yeah, it was just really unfortunate for that
yeah.
photographer.
There we go. Technology. Your technology
Yeah.
can't always work either, like you're saying with the DV things. Like it, yeah, it just happens. It's how you kind of roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. And again, being prepared. So I carry 4 to 5 memory sticks full of music. So
Yep.
there's one or one hard drive full of all my music, and then I have loads set up with loads of playlists. Um, yeah, it's being able to make sure that no one element, if that breaks, is going
Yeah.
to stop the night.
Yeah. Yeah, we do hear some stories, though, don't you, when people haven't prepared or don't have a backup or don't, and then that's it. I've heard it happen a couple of times, I think now, where the DJs had to like stop because they haven't got the kit as a backup or something. It's crazy, isn't it? Like I was, what was I? Yeah, wedding was at the weekend, but singer couldn't make it. Done that a couple of times, and then had to use a backup singer. It's just there's so many things that can happen in the industry, which you just want to kind of. It is crazy if you don't have either the network of being able to find a backup or you don't have the backup of kit. Then yeah, it's then you feel. I don't know how I'm going to phrase this, but like the stress then just goes straight on the couple, doesn't it? And you, as a business where you're like heavy on client experience and stuff like that, you have to be like fully prepared and have backups and stuff like that. It's but you do hear some stories in the industry, don't you? It is crazy.
And all of us as suppliers at weddings, we'll feel the stress. We're
Yeah,
always wanting to do the best for the
first, yeah,
couple on their day. And it's that analogy of the duck swimming, isn't it? On the surface, everything's
yeah,
looking calm. Underneath our minds, and as I say, you're working 20 minutes, half an hour ahead, looking at the weather. I'm always not 20 minutes, half an hour ahead, but 3-4 songs ahead, thinking, right, well, this is working, but if it doesn't work, where am I going to go after that as well?
yeah, yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Well, this has been
And
it's been a great chat. I don't know where the last hour has gone, mate, but
yes,
it's flown by, and I think there's a lot of useful stuff in there. And again, thanks to everyone that sent in their questions. It's really good. I suppose we can finish up really. Like, where can everybody find you, Olly? To start with, because that would be a good one, wouldn't it?
yeah. So Enhanced Entertainment, we're on most social media platforms. Again, Susanna does a lot of that. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, over all of those. And then website is where you'll find prices, packages, and a bit more about what we do.
It's interesting because I was trying to find you on TikTok last night to try and share the same story on TikTok to see if anyone would answer the story over there. I couldn't find you, so I'll have another look. But
Yeah.
do you know what was quite interesting? And here's one for any suppliers out there listening to this one. But the bride at the weekend, apart from booking myself and the videographer at a wedding fair, she booked everybody on the day for a wedding day on TikTok, which is crazy because everyone's thinking still Facebook, SEO, Instagram. But actually, like, obviously the next generation, most of them are on TikTok. So it's the first wedding where I've heard, and I didn't actually hear it from the bride herself, but first wedding where she's booked everything off of TikTok apart from 2 suppliers, which is crazy. Get on
It's
TikTok.
crazy, but I can absolutely believe that. We had one video that went a little bit viral for us at a young farmers party, and over 500,000 views and 20 odd thousand likes later. And as you say, the reach of that was amazing, better than any other platform we had done.
Have you ever? I'll finish on this one because like I had a reel that went viral a couple of years ago, no business from it? Like, or do you get all these? Like, have you ever had that? And if like that reel that had 500,000 views, did you get any business off the back of it? Because not all I can't even say it. Virality, I suppose, is that a word? I have no idea. I probably made it up. Oxford Dictionary, hit me up. But not always something that pops off leads to anything. So, like, did you get anything?
Yeah,
off that?
I wouldn't have said that we got any direct work from it.
Yeah.
Again, from a marketing point of view,
Love it.
It's just you have to be over everything, and it is amazing how people will be down the pub or meeting some friends, and they'll be like, "Oh, I saw this video." Like, "Oh God, I didn't even realize they were watching that." And yeah, it's sometimes can be quite disheartening from suppliers. You're putting all this content out.
Yep.
And you're going, oh, not many people are engaging with it. And that's why, as you say, it's so nice that these couples engage with your content today and ask you those questions.
Yeah.
But people are watching this without letting you know, and like, or a lot of content without actually engaging with it. And then you are sticking in their mind. So yeah, whether we may not have got work directly from it, but I do think it all content can help.
That's it. And I said to Pat a couple of episodes ago, you never know where the next booking's coming from. So that's been a massive mindset shift for me, is when you're putting out content, is just not even look at the numbers anymore, because people are on different platforms. They're on it at different times of day. They're on it. You know, there's even people that aren't even on social media. So like, I made a massive mindset shift to not even like worry about it. Just put out the content you want to put out. And then if something happens, then it happens. Yeah, crazy that. Well, thank you very much, Olly. It's been a great chat, and I've even learned some stuff about wedding DJing too. Hopefully, my brother has too. Okay,
oh, well, James,
let's
it's been
go.
an absolute pleasure being on here. Yeah, I hope it carries on being a success and grows, and keeps going really well.
Perfect. Appreciate it, buddy. And enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe see you at a wedding again in the future.
Yeah, perfect.
Right. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
So massive thank you there to Olly from Enhanced Entertainment for coming on the show. And apart from asking wedding DJs to put on their white lights for the first dance, there's really nothing I know about DJing really. So thank you again to Olly for coming on and explaining all things DJing and MCing, and hopefully you got something from it. Now next week we have Liana Biggs coming on. She is a makeup and hairstylist wedding supplier. Now those are two wedding suppliers that I have no Scooby about at all. So and apart from being envious of or not being envious of what time they have to wake up for a wedding day, I do not know anything. I know nothing at all about hair or makeup, as you could probably tell from my own hair and concealer that I might have had to put on today. After the weekend I've had, I was not surprised that I had a spot this morning. If you've been following along on social media, my car broke down on the way back from a wedding. The windscreen wipers stopped working and it was raining. So a nice classy hotel I stayed in Chepstow on Sunday morning. But yeah, hopefully you had a great week and a great weekend. The sun did come out on Sunday, and I hope you have a great week. Although this podcast has been recorded 3 weeks in arrears, so the weather might have changed completely. It might be snowing, so who knows? I'm speaking to future me. But yeah, have a great week. And yeah, looking forward to speaking to Liana next week. Let's go.